In 1970, a new record hit the stores in England. The cover grabbed your attention like a moth to the flame. A figure, dressed in black, stands in front of a mill near a large tree. The ground is covered in weeds and fallen leaves, giving the impression that it is late fall, and a cold, rough winter is ahead. You pull out the record and notice the inverted cross on the inside cover. Written on the cross is an odd poem. Upon reading it, you become a little worried about what you are going to be listening to for the next 40 minutes. As you turn on the record player and start to play the album, you are greeted with the sound of bells ringing and storm rolling in. Then it hits you. A sound like you've never heard before. It's dark, gritty, and makes you feel a little afraid. You wonder to yourself, what is this sound? This, my friend, is Black Sabbath. The band started out as a blues group called Polka Talk in 1967. John Ozzy Osbourne, Frank Tony Iommi, William Bill Ward, and Terence Geezer Butler would eventually come across a sound all their own through playing large amounts of set list in the clubs of Western Europe. As Iommi said, you have to learn how to make your own sound. This sound would inspire the band to go on to create what would be called the horror films of music. For horror films, structuring the scenes of the movie correctly is key to producing the best shock value in an audience. The same holds true for Black Sabbath's music. The band's self-titled single, Black Sabbath, is one of the best examples of how the arrangement of a musical piece can produce an ominous and dreadful, yet entertaining listening experience. Like any good horror film, the opening sequence must draw attention immediately. The gritty opening, described as sounding like the very gates of hell opening up, leaves the listener dazed and confused, but still in a stable state of mind. As the guitar and bass settle to a slow, dark, melodic crawl, the song flows into a seemingly safe area. The sound is based on the tritone, or Devil's Fifth, which is one of the most important parts of modern heavy metal riffs. As the first part of the song comes to an end, a silence looms over the horizon. Then, a quick tempo change occurs as Iommi drives out a pounding rush of notes in 12/8 time. It all leads up to a massive climax as the rhythm guitar and bass kick in. This is like the part of the horror movie where the truly terrifying things begin to happen. This one riff would redefine music, allowing other bands to compose even scarier, heavier, and darker sounds. The members of Sabbath also relied on their lyrics to create a scary atmosphere in their songs. Much like a well-written script, Black Sabbath's lyrics helped clarify the picture painted by the music. A classic example is the single War Pigs from the 1971 album Paranoid. The lyrics describe the end of the world, where all the war pigs gather like witches at black masses, and they ask for mercy from God for their sins, but they're confronted by the devil instead. The dark imagery of this and other Black Sabbath songs is the result of bassist Geezer Butler, the band's main songwriter, and his interest in the occult during the early days of the band. In fact, the song Black Sabbath was inspired by an experience Butler had one night when he saw a large and ominous black figure standing at the foot of his bed. That might explain why he wears a huge crucifix around his neck. At any rate, the lyrics truly inspired fear and helped promote the band's evil kind of music. The last part of Sabbath's image is just that, its image. How the band performed live and what album covers looked like really affected how the public viewed Black Sabbath. Ozzy Osbourne was considered the original heavy metal frontman. He spazzed and shouted cuss words left and right, bringing the audience into a huge frenzy. They didn't call him the Prince of Darkness for nothing. He even ate the head off a live bat, leading to a large number of rabies shots afterwards. He could be considered the hypothetical creature from the Black Lagoon, the terrible monster everyone wants to see in the movie. Even Iommi has a gruesome story behind his sound. He lost 2 of his fingers in a job accident, leading to a slight depression because he could not play his guitar correctly anymore. However, after getting back on his feet, he made his own plastic thimbles from a washing up bottle. With this Frankenstein hand, Iommi brought new life to his guitar. The strings on his guitar, due to the new plastic tips on his fingers, rang out with a distinct sound that made Sabbath stand out in the early days. The album covers themselves act like movie posters, drawing people in to see the newest film from Black Sabbath Productions. These covers scared and intimidated people into listening to the music on the record. It was a marketing ploy that the record company used to portray Sabbath as a darker rock band. It worked, too. Today, people remember Black Sabbath as that crazy band that scared the hell out of religious rights, and everyone else for that matter. Black Sabbath was a scary band. Of that there is no doubt. However, in the end, it was a band like any other, made up of men trying to make their way in the music scene. They brought a frightening new sound in music, and would inspire the coming age of rock and of the new metal gods.